Influencers fake a lot of things online, but some have crossed a major line and faked a terminal condition. And those are the influencers we're going to be talking about in this video. I'm Mackenzie, and let's get into the top 10 influencers that faked a terminal condition. Also, if you're wondering why I look like this, it is Halloween at Stiuso, so this is my costume. And at number 10, Belle Gibson. Belle Gibson is easily the most famous influencer who was exposed for faking cancer. Belle claimed that she was diagnosed with a brain tumor when she was 20 years old and given only months to live. Then apparently, instead of following treatment advice from her doctors, she opted to go the holistic route, and along with cutting gluten and dairy, she started alternative treatments like oxygen therapy and colonics. In the end, she claimed that all these treatments had worked and her cancer was cured. She even started her own wellness app to monetize this following. But then shortly after, she claimed the cancer had returned and she was again terminal. At this point, many of her fans were suspicious and she was forced to admit the truth that she was lying the entire time. And at number 9, Brooks Ayers. Brooks Ayers was Vicki Gunvalson's ex-boyfriend on The Real Housewives of Orange County. While he was on the show, he claimed that he had cancer, but he ended up getting caught in a lie. According to People, Ayers claimed to be diagnosed with stage 3 non-Hodgkin lymphoma in 2013. Brooks claims he was telling the truth, but the entire cast, including Vicki, doubted him. He tried to set the record straight by showing documents from the hospital that he was being treated at, but when reporters contacted this hospital, they exposed that he wasn't even a patient. Ayers eventually came clean and admitted he forged these documents, along with faking the entire cancer story. And at number 8, Dan Mallory. Author Dan Mallory, known by his pseudonym AJ Finn, was exposed for faking his terminal cancer, along with his backstory. Mallory is known for his book The Woman in the Window, and it's clear he has a wild imagination. Apparently, Mallory claimed that he suffered with brain cancer for years, even including it on his college application. He even claimed his mother and brother had both passed away, but that was also a lie. After he was exposed, Mallory claimed his lies stemmed from the trauma he endured while his mother battled breast cancer. He then claimed he had bipolar disorder, and this resulted in these lies, saying in a statement, quote, "I experienced crushing depressions, delusional thoughts, morbid obsessions, and memory problems. I did or said or believed things I would never ordinarily say or do or believe. Things of which in many instances I have absolutely no recollection." And at number 7, Kim Zolciak-Biermann. The Real Housewives of Atlanta star is another person who faked having cancer, although the situation was not as shady as some of these past ones. During season 1, Kim got into a huge fight with fellow cast member Nene Leakes. During this fight, Kim insinuated that she wore wigs because she had cancer. At the time, she claimed that she got very sick and her hair was falling out. She said, "There was a friend of mine who was a doctor and he said, 'Kim, I gotta be honest with you, we're 90% sure you have cancer.'" And even though that story might have been true, she definitely avoided telling the truth for as long as possible to milk this story. When Andy Cohen asked if she had cancer, she said, quote, "I wouldn't choose to walk around with a hairpiece ever," while crying and talking about chemo. After he asked again, she admitted she never had cancer. Kim stands by the claim that she never actually lied, but it was super shady nonetheless. And at number 6, Joe Exotic. After watching Tiger King, it's safe to say Joe Exotic does not tell the truth very often. There was so much happening in the docuseries that some glazed over the fact that he actually lied about having cancer in the past. In Touch exclusively spoke with journalist Robert Moore, who revealed that Joe claimed he was dying of bone marrow cancer while they were working together, adding, quote, "He said if my doctors give me 2 months to live, I'm going to Florida and I'm going to kill Carol Baskin." In March of 2020, Moore clarified that Joe also claimed he had prostate cancer. He apparently spread this lie so he could raise money from his Facebook fans. In the end, Joe actually had an infected prostate and herpes. We're not sure if Joe was actually lying or was just misdiagnosed at first. Halfway number 5, Leah Messer. The Teen Mom 2 star claimed she had a miscarriage, but it was later revealed that she faked it all and instead had an abortion. At the time, she had recently divorced from Corey Sims and started dating Jeremy Calvert. After the pair were dating for a few months, Leah started to regret her divorce and had thoughts of getting back with Corey. But then she got pregnant with Jeremy, and she knew Corey would never take her back if she had the child. So she decided to terminate the pregnancy and tell the world it was a miscarriage instead. This was revealed in her memoir, Hope, Grace, and Faith. She wrote in the book that after she moved in with Jeremy, she found out she was expecting, adding, quote, "I was devastated. Having a baby with Jeremy would be the end of any chance Corey and I had of making things work for our family." And at number 4, Courtney Stodden. Courtney Stodden is best known as the controversial bride of actor Doug Hutchinson. At the time, the actor was old enough to be Courtney's father. Years after their divorce, Hutchinson published a memoir called Flushing Hollywood: Fake News, Fake Boobs. In this book, he claimed that the couple faked their entire pregnancy and miscarriage for attention. Apparently, they were going broke and needed money to pay the bills, so they concocted this story for attention. And apparently it was all Courtney's idea. He said in the book, quote, I couldn't get a job to save my life in Hollywood anymore. I was blacklisted. We had burned through all of my savings. I went bankrupt. We were that desperate. Kourtney claims that during their marriage they were scared to speak of all the terrible things that happened to them, but Kourtney claims that things were a little different and that apparently during their marriage they were scared to speak out of all the terrible things that happened to them, saying that Kourtney would be releasing a book soon. Looking at photos of Kourtney's alleged baby bump, it's crazy to think the entire pregnancy could have been staged because these photos look insanely real. And number 3, James Paddock. This is easily the stupidest one on this list because James Paddock's fake illness had real world consequences. During the coronavirus, James was hoping for a way to go viral. And instead of creating an interesting video idea, he instead decided to fake having coronavirus. While on a WestJet flight from Toronto to Jamaica, James stood up mid-flight and said, quote, "I just came back from Hunan province, the capital of coronavirus. I'm not feeling too well, thank you." Obviously, everyone on the plane absolutely lost it, causing mass panic. The plane was forced to turn around and head back to Toronto 2 hours in. In an interview with Toronto City News, he admitted he was traveling to Jamaica to shoot a music video and got up to pull the prank about halfway into the flight, hoping to post it to Instagram. But he got the coronavirus province name wrong, it's Wuhan, not Hunan. He ended up being arrested and charged for the incident. And at number 2 is Sketchek. A YouTuber named Sketchek did the unthinkable and actually faked his own death, only to return years later. Sketchek was a gamer known for Team Fortress 2. According to PC Gamers, Sketchek was widely regarded as one of the best pyro players of the first-person game. But in 2015, he felt that gaming had ruined his life, and he wanted to give up on his channel. So instead of just leaving or announcing his retirement, he decided to go out with a bang. This involved Sketchek revealing he was suffering with a terminal illness, not specifying what it actually was. But then 3 years later, he decided to return. In his video, he exposed his own lies, saying, quote, "I was never ill, not even a little bit. You might say I was mentally ill because I thought it would be fun to convince a lot of people that care about me that I would die, but I've been feeling really bad about it lately." And finally, number 1, Trisha Paytas. Back in March of 2020, Trisha got into a feud with a dissociative identity disorder or DID YouTuber after Trisha claimed they had DID. This was revealed in a video Trisha uploaded called Meet My Alters, showcasing T, Trixie, Tyson, Tyranny, and Tabolter as the alters. Trish was instantly met with backlash from the DID community for self-diagnosing and spreading misinformation. In a follow-up video, Paytas tried to convince everyone that their DID was real. In a video eating spicy chicken sandwich, Trish took a bite out of the sandwich, put it back in the bag, and when one of their alters took over, they were shocked that someone else took a bite out of the sandwich. At the time, Trish got a ton of backlash for lying about the illness, although Trish still stands by their self-diagnosis. So that is all for the list, guys. Before I go, I'm going to shout out some comments for my video on influencers that look nothing like their photos in real life. Madame Cat said, 35 seconds, I'm literally wheezing laughing. I forget what that was relating to. Oh, I think it was about the like 50-year-old man trying to be a young girl. That was crazy. The before and after, it's like, how can an app do that? Like, how do we have the technology to do that? It is so crazy. And Caroline said, why hasn't Kylie contacted Marilyn Manson for a Lipkin model contract? I mean, if he wasn't cancelled, it would kind of be a good collab moment. Then Tori said, using a filter here and there is okay, but these are downright deceiving. It's sad, really. P.S. Love watching your videos. They help me get grounded. From Seattle. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, it's crazy where you don't even recognize your own self on your Instagram. It's not really a good way to be, or a good way to live. Alright guys, that's all for the video today. Thanks so much for sticking around if you made it all the way here. If you liked the video and you want to see more, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel below. I've been your host, Mackenzie Smith, and I will catch you in the next one.